Not all crypto tokens are created equal. Some are meant to be used, some grant voting power, and some are designed specifically for investors. If you don't know the difference, you could easily invest in the wrong token, even if it is for a great project. One of the biggest mistakes beginners make in crypto is assuming every token serves the same purpose. They absolutely don't. Different tokens are built for different roles. And from an investor's perspective, that role is everything. Let's break down the main types of crypto tokens in simple, clear terms. First up, we have utility tokens. These tokens are designed to be used inside a specific platform or ecosystem. Think of them like arcade tokens. They often give you access to a service, a product, or a special feature. Utility tokens are commonly used for paying transaction fees, accessing decentralized applications, or unlocking premium features on a platform. Now, from an investor's viewpoint, utility tokens only gain value if the platform has real, active users, if demand for its service is growing, and if the token is actually required to use it, not just an option. If users can easily sidestep the token, the demand for it will always remain weak. And here's the key insight for investors. Utility does not automatically equal value. Many projects will boast about their token's utility, but in reality, users don't actually need it, where the token's usage doesn't scale up as the platform gets more popular. As an investor, you must always ask this critical question. Does more usage of the platform create more demand for the token? If the answer is no, then the potential for price growth is severely limited. Next, let's talk about governance tokens. Governance tokens give their holders the right to vote on changes to the protocol. This could mean deciding on important upgrades, or influencing how the project's treasury funds are spent. In theory, this sounds incredibly powerful, right? You get a say in the future of the project. But in reality, governance tokens only truly matter if the decisions being voted on actually affect the project's value. They're also only valuable if voting power is distributed fairly, and if the protocol generates real revenue or has significant activity. If a small, concentrated group controls most of the votes, then governance just becomes a symbolic feature, not a real power. Here's the investor insight. On governance tokens, many of them suffer from very low voter participation, centralized control by a few large holders, and weak incentives to even hold the token in the first place. So you need to ask yourself, does governance actually influence the project's revenue? Does holding the token provide any long-term benefits beyond just voting? Or is governance just a fancy marketing buzzword for the project? Remember, governance alone is rarely a strong investment thesis. Now for the third type, investment-oriented tokens, which are also known as value capture tokens. These tokens are designed from the ground up with one primary goal: to capture economic value from the protocol. They might do this by sharing a portion of the protocol's revenue with token holders, by benefiting from token buyback programs, or by naturally increasing in value as the platform's usage grows. As you might guess, these are often the most attractive tokens for investors, but because of their direct financial nature, they also attract the most attention from regulators. From an investor's point of view, these tokens succeed when the platform's revenue is growing, when token holders directly benefit from that growth, and when the token supply is carefully managed. Here's the key insight on value capture tokens. Always look for a clear, direct connection between platform usage and the token's value. You want to see transparent mechanisms for how value is shared and sustainable incentives for holding the token long-term. If the value generated by the platform does not flow back to the token holders in a meaningful way, then holding it for the long run just doesn't make much sense. In the real world, most crypto projects don't fit neatly into just one of these boxes. The majority of tokens are actually hybrids. A token might combine utility with governance, or governance with staking rewards, or utility with value capture features. Hybrid tokens can work really well if the different incentives are properly balanced, but poorly designed hybrids often just confuse users, dilute the token's value, and create constant selling pressure in the market. As an investor, remember that complexity should always be justified. If a token model seems overly complicated, you need to question why. It's also crucial to understand that different token types behave differently in the market. Utility tokens, for example, often face selling pressure as people use them for their intended purpose and then sell them. Governance tokens can stagnate in price if there are no strong incentives to hold them. And value-focused tokens tend to attract more long-term holders who are betting on the platform's success. Understanding the type of token you're looking at helps you set realistic expectations. It helps you avoid hype-driven investments, and it allows you to choose tokens that actually align with your personal investment strategy. One of the most common beginner mistakes is buying a token simply because the project behind it sounds cool or innovative. But a good project does not always mean it's a good token to invest in. You must learn to separate the quality of the product from the value proposition of the token itself. Tokenomics is what bridges that gap. So now that you understand the different types of tokens, the next step is absolutely critical. In our next video, we are going to break down token supply. You shall learn the difference between a fixed supply and an inflationary one, the concepts of scarcity versus dilute, and how a token's supply schedule can directly impact its price over time. This is a topic where many investors get trapped without even realizing it. If you want to become a smarter crypto investor, you have to understand what kind of token you're holding. In part 4, we'll explain the mechanics of token supply and show you why supply can quietly destroy your returns if you're not paying attention. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can continue the series with us. Thanks for watching.